Hey, what's up, my uplifting life partners? This is ronsimplifiedmyers. We're on episode number 8 of the 12. It's the top 12 relationship problems according to experts. An article that was written by Mark Tarver, and he's a psychologist. And he wrote this article inside of Psychology Today. And so, what I decided to take all 12 of the topics and give my personal perspective. So today we're on number 8. As you know, when it talks about the problems of people having intimate relationships, these are the 12. And so number 8 is children. Now, children is a topic that needs to be discussed early in the dating stage. By that, I'm saying this is one of those that I consider to be the red flags kind of topic, where if you're a person that wants children and the other person has made it clear they don't want children, do not get in a relationship with them. That is red flag. To me, remember I said red flag means stop. Why do I say that? Too many people get in those relationships believing over time that person's perspective will change and hopefully that's when we'll get married. Well, that person 4 years later, 5 years later, 6 years later, still don't want to have kids. And now the person is saying, I wasted 4 or 5 years with this person. I can't believe. No, you saw this at the beginning. They told you. When people, again, Maya Angelou says, when people tell you who they are, believe them. If they tell you I don't want kids, do not get in a relationship with them. Why? Because you might actually start to care about them. And that red flag, because I've known people that have given up on the idea of marriage, given up on the idea of kids when it's something that they truly deep desired. And now they've gotten older, can't have kids, and are feeling miserable and wonder why their life feels the way it is. Because you cheated yourself. Those are things that you wanted and you allowed someone else to take that from you. Especially someone who tells you they've had kids or they've been married or whatever. That's their issue. It doesn't matter why they don't want to do it. The fact is they don't want to do it. And you do. Those are red flags. Get that addressed quickly. So in the beginning, if we're talking about children, you're not interested, we don't need to go any further. You guys follow? We could get together later down the line, 4 or 5 years later, if we actually have communicated and still talking to each other or know each other and you're interested in kids. Cool. You guys follow me? But if it's a red flag, stop. Now, you also need to address doing that when we do have children, if we both agreed. And it doesn't mean we want kids right this moment, but agreeing that they want kids. Because you may not even want a kid right this moment. But then if we do start talking about the idea of kids, we need to have the conversation on parenting. Too many people wait till after they have the kids and then they get into arguments and disagreements because the fact is, I remember me and Terry talked about that on a couple of times because we had relatives that stayed with us when they were younger. And that was some of the conversations we would have because, of course, as a default, most people are going to do one or two things. Either you're going to duplicate your parents or you're going to do the total exact opposite of your parents. And what is always funny to me is some people, most people, don't like the way they were parented, but they duplicate it. It's just amazing, but it does. It's why? Because people, that's your example and it's all you know. So you fall into that trap. But anyway, that was kind of some of our conversation because Terry was telling me like things she wanted to do as far as discipline was what she had been taught. And we didn't agree with everything that she was taught when she was younger. I was coming from the way I saw things. And of course, we didn't agree with the way that some of the things that I was brought up. Because nobody's perfect, folks. So this is not against her parents, my parents. Nobody's perfect. Everybody is, again, one or two things, following their parents or doing the opposite. So everybody's doing the best that they can. Where I'm saying the conversation is when you guys come to a conversation on how we're going to do it. Okay, how were you raised in this particular area? Did you guys believe in spanking your parents? You go, yeah, my parents spank. Okay, how did you feel about that? Did your parents spank? Like in my case, I never got a spanking. I got hit one time by my mom, and it was on accident. But as a kid, I went into drama because it was one of those that I kept tapping her on her shoulder or something. I kept doing something. She's like, Ronnie, stop. And I just kept doing it. So she kind of flinched back like, stop. But I was close on her and she didn't realize I was standing right there that close to her. And when she did that, her hand, the back of her hand actually hit me in the face. And it wasn't a hard hit. It's just because she just kind of flinched, but it did hit me. So, of course, I was younger. I went into drama mode and ran in the room crying as if she killed me. And I'm like, I hate you. And da, 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 da. Folks, that's the only quote unquote whooping I got in my life. So, and I believe I was a great kid. My parents will tell you I wasn't a trouble kid. I'm not a kid that needed, that's why when people say you don't whoop your kid. No, I didn't get whoopings. But I was a kid because I believe there's a difference that some people believe in intimidating your kids. I've never believed in that philosophy. I don't want to intimidate my kids. I want to have the respect of my kids because once they get past intimidation, you no longer can get things done through them because now they're going to challenge you because now they feel like I'm big enough now, we can fight. You guys follow me? Intimidation only gets it done for so much until a person is no longer intimidated. Now they're going to challenge you. So it's better to have the respect. So bottom line is, so I had a different upbringing. I didn't go through the whoopings and stuff. I didn't go through any of that. And I believe I was a great kid. And my parents would tell you that I wasn't a trouble kid. I didn't get into trouble. I didn't get high. I didn't drink. I wasn't doing any of that stuff. It's just I did it because of my respect for my parents that I stayed out of trouble because I didn't want to make them, I don't know if you call it shame the name or whatever, as some people say, or make them embarrassed or whatever. So I was always a good kid. So I didn't get that. Her family was whatever dad says is what goes. My house, we were taught to speak up. You have to decide. If you don't think either one is healthy or either one fully is the best way to go, then how are we going to handle this? What's the best way for us to do this? And that's why with the children, you have to address those things up front so that we could come in. So we know that, like, one of the things we would do with Terry and I is we would never have those discussions. Like, they would come and ask me, can you do such and such? I go, did you ask Auntie? See, I'm getting clarity up front. And they go, well, yeah. Well, what did Auntie say? She said no. Then why are you asking me? I'm not getting ready to go against Auntie. See, folks, we had to make sure they knew we were on the same team. You're not going to divide us. Too many people allow their kids to divide them. Kids figure out which parent they could get on their side, and that's the one they're going to always go to get what they want. It only makes sense. Why wouldn't you? And then you guys argue and go back and forth because you're letting the kids manipulate the relationship. That's why I always tell people the relationship with your partner is the first relationship. Your kids come next. Why? And I know some of you moms heard me say that and you're going to get upset and fired up. You are the example for your kids. As the mom, you are teaching your daughter what a woman looks like, and you're teaching her how to be in a marriage. As the father, you're doing the same thing. You're teaching your son how to be a man and how to operate inside of a marriage. You're also, as a man, showing your daughter what a man looks like so she knows who she's going after, and vice versa. The mom, you showing your son what a woman looks like. That's the greatest gift you can ever give your kids. The greatest gift is the relationship between you and your partner. That's the best gift you can ever give your kids. So if you get that taken care of, guess what? The kids are automatically taken care of. I tell people, understand that. The kids are automatic. Why? You're not going to be a person that takes care of your partner and neglects your kids. It's not going to happen. Why? Because the person that cares about the kids is going to have a problem with the parent that neglects them. You guys follow me? So that's going to create a chaos in the marriage. So if you automatically take care of each other, the kids are automatically going to be taken care of. So make sure you guys get on the same page. And then the parenting becomes a lot simpler. And folks, these conversations have to be done in advance. Now, everything we know is not going to be done in advance because life happens and certain situations going to come up and we're going to have to deal with it at that time. But make sure you guys talk between each other and not let the kids be the part of that influence. And if we have a safe place where we have an open relationship, those things become easy to do and easy conversations. And then we know getting in a relationship with people that already have kids, that's a different conversation. You still need to be able to, and especially if you're thinking it's going to be a serious relationship, how do you feel about me disciplining your child or vice versa? You know, if it's the woman, how do you feel about her speaking into your kids? We need to get those things addressed. If you have a partner that's very strong in, you know, the ex-wife or the ex-girlfriend or the baby's mama, however we want to play this out, what kind of, does she have a problem with this other woman disciplining her kids? See, these are all the conversations. These are real conversations that you got to get addressed. I'm not here to say good, bad, right, or wrong, but you need to get those things addressed before you get into these relationships and get committed to these relationships, because they're not going to go away. You're going to have to deal with them. That's what all this stuff, any kind of challenges, address as much as you can up front. We can't adjust for everything, but the major stuff, let's make sure we have conversations. This children thing, it's real serious, and it will create division. In this particular case, it's number 8 on the top 12 reasons why people can't have intimate relationships, what divides or breaks up intimate relationships, because this children thing, it's real. Have the conversations. Make sure you and your partner are on the same squad. If there's a third party in there because it's a baby mama or ex or whatever, make sure they're involved in the conversation also, so that we can make sure we're all on the same page, because these are not conversations that you have in front of the kids. But hopefully we got adults that are involved in the conversation so that we can figure out what's the best way to deal with the kids that we're all in agreement with. And as you guys know, it ain't right. It ain't wrong. It is my opinion. Now run on over to Google Play, the Apple Store, download my app, Simplified You. The word simplified, the letter U. It's not the word U, it's the letter U. And they are separated, but so Simplify You, download it, free app. I also have included in the app my book, the Relationship Success Handbook, Get Rid of Your Problems, Not Your Partner. It's actually a book that's on sale on Amazon. I'm not trying to sell books. I want to help you get your relationships together. So download it, download the app, read the book. First chapter's on self-love. Let's get that addressed. Then we can go and get everything else taken care of. And as you guys know, if you're not having fun, you should be doing something else. All right, we'll get to you on number 9 on the next episode. And if you haven't gotten to watch any of the first 8, go back and watch them all. I believe this is a good series. Of course, I mean, yeah, I'm biased, but I believe the information is great information. And especially if it is the top 12 as supposedly done by experts, why not address them and put them into your particular relationship? All right, I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.